And it's another Friday. Let's take a look at some of our news from around the planet, beginning with a story out of Guatemala. A mass evacuation is being prepared right now as the Volcano of FIRE has burst into life. Could have a big eruption at any moment. Basically, it's been going off almost continuously here for, well, ever since the Spaniards were in the country. So it's really maybe not as big a deal as some of us like to think it would be. However, because it is getting ready for another big eruption, they're getting ready to run away. This is a cycle that people have been doing in that area for, well, hundreds of years. In Sint Maarten, that's the little Caribbean island, a New Zealand woman was killed by a jet engine blast. It's actually a very famous beach that's right along the fence next to the area where the jets land and take off. And she was holding onto the fence and got knocked over by the jet blast and died from her injuries. In Yemen, a cholera epidemic is spreading. In fact, they're saying it's absolutely out of control right now. And in Iraq, the government is investigating a video that has surfaced of Iraqi troops taking ISIS-suspected members to the edge of a cliff, throwing them off the cliff, and then shooting them as they're lying there at the bottom of the cliff. They're investigating because they're saying, obviously, this looks like a war crime, and so they're going to pursue those who are responsible for it. We can get into the morals at some other time. That's just the facts of the case. India is currently modernizing its nuclear arsenal with an eye on China, not on Pakistan. You know, for basically the last 50 years, India and Pakistan have been at juggernauts over their border with Kashmir, and there's been fighting there, and they've been deterring each other from taking it too far with their respective nuclear arsenals. Now with China being a potential threat for India, I guess they have been for a while, but now India is modernizing their nuclear arsenal to balance off of China. Obviously, Pakistan will likely then try to balance off of India. The Qatar-Gulf crisis is lingering. This as Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has headed home. I guess they were expecting more progress than they got. Liu Xiaobo, China's most prominent dissident, has died at age 61. The Nobel Committee is basically putting the blame on China for the way in which they treated him. Charlie Gard's parents feel that they've been stripped of their rights in the battle for getting treatment for their brain-damaged child. And a woman has sued Disneyland Paris over a crème brûlée incident. When the chef lit her dessert on fire, it apparently lit her face on fire as well. Have you heard of hashtag Fontgate? Well, I hadn't before today. This is the daughter of the Prime Minister, Nawaz Sharif. She's accused of document forgery. This document that was produced in court that claims that the ownership of a multi-million-dollar flat was transferred to her was written in the Calibri font. However, it was dated before the Calibri font came into usage. And there are many more stories than we have time for. I'd like to invite you to become a subscriber, radiofreespeech.com, because all paid subscribers get a 30 to 40-minute version of the news, audio, of course, that is sent to them by way of email every single day. If you'd like a part of it, I can actually send you a free sample. Send me an email for steve@radiofreespeech.com. One last story I'll mention in passing, if you'd like to hear more. A mysterious black ringed shape UFO has been appearing in skies around the world. What does it mean? Find out more at radiofreespeech.com.